Hello, my name is Kristen Whitney, and I will be giving my information speech on Havasupai Falls. And I have my little brother here as my audience member. So thank you for taking the time to sit down and film this. So I'll be giving the camera back to my brother, and let's get started. So I personally have never been to Havasupai Falls, but I do have friends who have been, and I really enjoyed the scenery. And as you can see from this picture, it is a nice view and a nice picture, and it makes me want to go. So hopefully in the future I can plan a trip and go. But just a fun fact, which many people may know, many people may not, but did you know that Beyonce Knowles, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Beyonce is, has actually filmed her music video at this exact same location back in July of 2019. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Arizona got brownie points from Beyonce, so that's pretty cool. Just to give a little background, so Havasupai is known for their waterfalls and their hiking and camping. And so the Havasupai Indian Reservation is a Native American reservation for the Havasupai people. The American Indian tribe have lived there for more than 800 years. And if you don't know what Havasupai means, Havasu means blue, green water, and Pay means the people. So a little bit of that. The location is in Supai, or Supay, I believe is pronounced, in Arizona. It is located about an hour away from the Grand Canyon. If you're planning on hiking, it's roughly 10 hours from the parking lot to the waters, to the first set of the waterfalls, excuse me. I would expect to hike 30 miles is probably what you're going to be expecting to hike. So I never been hiking, so it would be an experience. So if you're planning on camping or hiking there's a few things that you should know and plan for when you go visit. So for the reservation, Havasupai requires a reservation, so you can go online at havasupaireservation.com, and you do need a permit. And in order to get a permit, they do every February 1st. You can go online and you can sign up and create an account. Everybody needs one before you go to the reservation site when you go hiking. So you do need that. And the permit is about $50 from what they said. So if you do plan on. Photo ID, you do need a photo ID once you arrive. When you get to the tourist office, which is at the Supay Village, if you do not have your photo ID, they will not let you in because they need to verify who you are on the reservation list. So gotta make sure you have that. So no ID, no entry. So you have to make sure you have your sunscreen, water, just the essentials that you pretty much need. You definitely need water. That's probably the most important thing that you need. We live in Arizona, so you don't know what the temperature is going to be like. Mainly it's going to be in the 90s or 100s, so probably expect that. So for the water, there is no water sources from about 1 to 8 miles of hiking, so make sure you do have water. From when you go to the camping grounds, there is water available for you. And a fun tip that they have is at the location site, at the entrance of the trail, they do provide water and Gatorade and fresh fruit, but you have to pay, of course. So that's kind of nice that they have recommended if you do forget that. Bathrooms, there is no public bathroom until you get within the town. So if you have to use it, I would consider holding it, or whatever option that you have in mind, you can go for it. But there is several bathrooms throughout the camping site once you reach there. And there is outhouses. There is no running water, so I would make sure you pack toilet paper and you have hand sanitizer available with you. So for the camping, this is a picture of where people have been camping. So Havasupai, the campground, roughly can fit 300 people total, so that's really nice, a bunch of limited space, but just remember that you won't have much privacy because there is other people around you, so just kind of be respectful of everyone around you. And there is small rivers and creeks running throughout the campground, which leads to the first of the waterfalls. So you kind of have a beautiful scenery to look at and experience, which is really nice. And if you do plan on sleeping at the camping site, it is $25 per person plus a $10 environmental impact fee, which is not bad. But if you do plan on sleeping at the campsite, I believe when you go to reserve your spot, they do three to 4 nights, but that's roughly between $300 to $350. But prices change every year, but that was the price from back in 2019. Obviously, we're in 2020. We don't really know due to the whole COVID situation going on, but that was from last year's pricing. So if you do get hungry, you forgot something, you need something, you can go into the small general store, which is about 8 miles into the falls, and they have cold drinks, they have snack supplies, which is really nice, and they have a small restaurant. They have coffee, breakfast food, hot dogs, burgers. So if you're hungry, you can grab a quick snack there, and they do take cash and debit and credit cards, so you don't have to worry about your payment method there. And it has Wi-Fi, which is really nice. Everybody needs Wi-Fi wherever they go. But they do not sell alcohol. They do not sell alcohol, and you cannot bring alcohol on the premises. So just a little pointer. For souvenirs, if you do want to purchase souvenirs, you can. Purchase a souvenir for your family, friend, or for yourself. Doesn't really matter, but they do have that. And for clothing, make sure you pack appropriately. Make sure you have your hat, sunglasses, sunscreen. Most importantly, you can definitely bring a swimsuit because you can swim within the waterfalls and the rivers. Your choice, you don't have to, but it's completely up to you. But yes, make sure you have that. And of course, water. Definitely need that. And then after your whole trip and you're done, you do have 2 options planning on leaving the whole camping experience. Option A is you can take a helicopter, which I find really nice, but it is $85 per person. So you can do that, but just letting you know that the lines start up at 5:30 in the morning. So I recommend getting up at the crack of dawn because the place opens at 9 o'clock a.m. or 10 o'clock a.m. in order for you to leave through helicopter. And the ride time is 3 minutes and 45 seconds, which is pretty nice. I'd rather take that than hiking all the way back to the trails. Or option B is backpacking it out the way you came in. I guess that'd be nice because you get to see the beautiful scenery when you came in, when you're going out. But if you don't feel like walking in the heat, I recommend taking the helicopter or get up early to leave your trip. And one thing I did forget to mention, when you're going camping, there is a quiet time from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So you do have to follow those rules, and it's respectful at the Indian tribe land. So just got to make sure you follow those rules, which is not very bad at all. But that concludes my presentation, and I will be taking questions from my little brother. Any questions, Nicholas?
Yes, actually. What are the waterfalls there?
So there is 5 waterfalls within the Havasupai Indian Reservation. The first one is the Havasu Falls, which is the most popular one that everyone goes to. The second one is the Mooney Falls. Third one is the Beaver Falls. Fourth one is the 50-foot Falls. And then the 5th one is the Little Navajo Falls. So those are the 5 ones that you can go to. So there's not just one, there's 5. Didn't know that, new for me, but I thought that was pretty awesome. Any more questions?
Say I were to get injured, is there a medical person available?
If you do get injured, there is no medical staffing available, and there isn't any medical staff or any medical facilities. So if you do get injured, there is an emergency where a helicopter can transfer you out, but that will be costly. So just be cautious on what you're doing and probably bring a first aid kit to kind of help prevent that. Any more questions?
Well, since I have an animal and I don't want to pay anyone to take care of him, can I bring him to the Havasupai?
So there is a lot of people who do, but there's a lot of people who recommend that you don't. And apparently they recommend that you don't bring your animal because there is no medical team available. If your dog, most likely dogs go there, not cats, but if your dog goes there, there really isn't no medical team available, and there's no leash law. If other people bring their animals and your dog gets aggressive, they go at it, it's pretty not recommended. So I most likely would say just leave your pet at home. Any more questions?
And you also said that there's a quiet time, right?
There is a quiet time, yes.
Can you hike during that time?
Oh, that's a really good question. Recommend is that you don't hike during that time because it's not safe. Because one, it's nighttime, you can't really see, you can get injured that way. But if you do plan on hiking during that time, recommend bringing a flashlight. So it's totally up to you, but I really wouldn't recommend that. Any more?
No.
All right, perfect. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you.